you are searching for a beginner-friendly way to understand Claude Code, then you are in the right video, because every other tutorial I found was way too technical. Like, they'd just jump straight into Git and Terminal, which honestly goes above the head of anyone who's not a developer. So what I've done is break it all the way down in simple English, and gonna walk you through exactly what it is, how to set it up, and then actually build something live, so you can see the whole thing in action. And towards the end, I'm gonna show you one feature that most beginners don't even know exists. Once you see it, you're never gonna use this without it. So let's get into it. First thing first, what is Claude Code? The best way to describe is that it's a coding agent. Think of it like having a developer friend. You tell it what you want, and it writes the code and hands you back a working product. So the difference is pretty straightforward. Other tools will tell you how to build something, but it actually builds it. And that's what makes it genuinely useful for someone who's never coded a day in their life. Now that you know what it is, let me tell you how to actually access it. So Claude gives you 3 ways for that. First, you've got the terminal. It is that black screen with no buttons, but just that plain white text. Second, you've got the IDE. It is basically a code editor where developers write and manage their code. And then you've got the Claude desktop app. It's just like a normal application with no technical stuff. That's what we're using today, because for anyone who's just getting started, using desktop app makes most sense. So the first thing you want to do is head over to Claude.ai and install the desktop app. Once you're in, this is how your interface will look like. You have 3 tabs right at the top: Chat, Cowork, and Code. Now I've already made separate videos on Chat and Cowork, so if you want to check those out, the links are down in the description. So once you're in the Code tab, this is what your interface will look like. At the top, you've got an Overview and a Model tab. At the very bottom, you've got a text bar that says describe a task or ask a question. That's where you will talk with Claude Code. Just above it, you've got a local and a select folder button, which is important because that's how you will tell Claude which project or folder on your computer you want it to work with. And down in the corner, you've got Model Selector. So if you click on it, you'll see a little menu pop up with a few options, which are worth understanding before you start. Here you've got 4 choices. Haiku is light and pretty fast, but not enough powerful. It's kinda good for simple and quick tasks. Sonnet is the sweet spot. It's what most people use. Then you've got Opus, which is most powerful and best for complex tasks, but it does eat through your usage pretty fast. And then there's Opus Legacy, which is basically the older version of Opus. You probably won't need that one. Right below the models, you've got the effort setting: low, medium, and high. Think of this as how hard you want Claude to think before responding. Medium is the default and works great for most things, but if you've got something really complex, you can set it to high. Right next to it, you can see this tiny icon. This shows you exactly how much of your usage you've burned through. You've got 3 things here: your 5-hour session limit, your weekly usage across models, and your Claude design usage. So let's actually build something real, which is a decision maker tool. And the reason is pretty simple. You know that feeling when you have got a big decision in front of you and your brain is just going in circles? Should I take this job? Should I invest in this? And no matter how much you think about it, you just can't land on an answer. That's exactly what this tool is for. You type in your situation and it breaks down everything with pros, cons, risks, and recommendation. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit this select folder button at the bottom and just create a simple empty folder on my desktop. I'm calling it Decision Tool. That's it. That's where our project will live. I will describe it in simple English, like I am explaining it to a friend. So we'll type this, send, and watch what happens. Now we have a pop-up here, and it's telling you that Claude Code is going to be read, write, and create files inside this folder. Since we just created this folder ourselves, and we completely trust it, so just hit Trust Workspace, and we're good to move forward. And after a few minutes, it's done. And let's have a look on how it will work. First, it has got a category detection, whether it's career, finance, relationship. It's doing sentiment analysis to understand the weight of your situation, and then running it through 3 frameworks we asked for. And at the end, it gives you a final verdict based on everything it analyzed. All of that from one simple prompt, with 0 coding. Now let's actually test this thing and see what it gives us. So let me give it a real situation here. Someone who's 32, married, has a kid on the way, and is stuck at a safe but dead-end job. They just got a better offer from a startup with a big salary bump, but 0 job security. Classic tough call. Let's see what it actually comes up with. Okay, so look at this. First, it gave a full SWOT analysis. You can pause and read it. That's not a generic response, but actually really thoughtful. Then it runs the 10 by 10 rule. How will you feel about this decision in 10 minutes, 10 months, and 10 years? And the 10-year answer is what gets me. It basically says, a decade from now, what's going to matter is whether you move toward your values or let fear keep you stuck. It's talking about how your network reshapes around wherever you work. That's the stuff most people never think about when they're making a career decision. And then the final recommendation. It says proceed with caution. And the reasoning is solid because it is asking to not abandon this opportunity, but don't rush into it either. I mean, that's genuinely good advice from the tool we built in about 5 minutes. Now the analysis and output is good, but honestly, it's a lot of text. And I don't know about you, but when I see this much text, my brain just kind of checks out. So let me see if I can make this a little easier to read. So I'm going to ask it to do 2 things. First, add some visual infographics to each framework, so it's easier to digest at a glance. And second, add an option to save the full analysis as a PDF, so you can actually keep it or share it with someone. So changes are done. Let's try a different situation this time. Someone who runs their own small business and just got what looks like a big opportunity, but it comes with some serious financial risk attached to it. Let's see what it comes up with. And this time, I want you to pay attention to the infographics and the PDF option we just added. And look at this. Now it's a different experience. The SWOT analysis has a proper color-coded grid. Green for strengths, red for weaknesses, blue for opportunities, and orange for threats. 10x10 rule now has an actual timeline running across the top, so you can see the 3-time horizons laid out in front of you. And third framework has a clean flowchart showing how one decision cascades into the next, all mapped out visually. And then at the very bottom, you've got a Save as PDF button. So once you've got your full analysis, you just hit that, and it downloads the whole thing as a PDF. And all it took was 1 prompt to get there. Alright, so we just built a working tool from scratch, edited it on the fly, and tested it with 2 different life situations. But this thing was pretty straightforward, because we just jumped right in and let Claude Code do its thing. But here's something important I want to show you, because when your project gets a little more complex, just jumping straight in with development isn't the smart move. Sometimes you want to know exactly what Claude Code is planning to do before it actually does anything. And that's where plan mode comes in. This one feature completely changes how you approach building anything with Claude Code. So I am in the new session and have created a folder named Expense Tracker and type this prompt. But this time, instead of just hitting send and letting it go, I will click here and switch it plan mode and then send. I'll authorize it, and look at this. Before writing any code, it just laid out its entire blueprint right here. It's telling me exactly what it's going to build, how it's going to build it, and what the final result is going to look like. And at the very end, it gives me a step-by-step verification checklist. So I know exactly how to test if everything is working correctly. I know exactly what's coming before it touches anything on my computer, so I will allow it. And once it is created, let me fill in some entries to show how it looks like. And here's the final results, a fully working expense tracker, built entirely from a plan that Claude laid out before writing a single line of code. You can see every expense logged in order, color-coded by category, and a pie chart showing exactly where the money is going, all broken down visually, with the exact amount next to each one, with total at the bottom. Now everything we just built is great, but here's something that's going to bother every time you close and start a new project, which is no memory and preference from your existing projects. It's like a new employee every time, and that's exactly what next feature fixes. This is Claude.md file. It is like an instruction note that you write once, and Claude reads automatically every single time you start a project. So to create one, all I'm going to do is type this and send. And just like that, it created the file automatically in the project folder. It got the constraints and technical stack laid out clearly. Now every time you want to refer this file, just type this, and you new project with also follow the instructions mentioned in the file. Now that we've covered how to build something, let's talk about something equally important. What is this actually going to cost you? To use Claude Code, you need at least a pro plan, which is $20 a month. And for someone who's just getting started, it is more than enough to get going. But here's one thing, it doesn't give you unlimited usage, even on a paid plan. You've got a 5-hour session usage limit and a weekly cap on top of that. So it's not something you can just run non-stop all day. But for most people, you're not going to hit those limits doing normal stuff. And one thing I really want you to remember, do not set up a separate API key thinking it's going to save you money or give you more access. It doesn't work like that. The API is a completely separate billing system, and people have gotten some pretty nasty surprise charges from that. Just stick with your Pro or Max subscription, and you're completely fine. Alright, so let's quickly recap what we covered today. We started with Claude Code, its interface, then building real tools from scratch, trying plan mode, and building Claude.md file. That's genuinely everything you need to get started. So if this helped you out, drop a like. And if you want to keep exploring what Claude can do, I've got a full video on Claude Cowork right here. Make sure to watch this, stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one.